The movie Head of State begins in Washington, D.C., where we meet Maze Gilliam, played by Chris Rock. Maze is not famous, not powerful, and certainly not rich. He works as a small-time alderman, basically a representative for his local neighborhood. He spends his days helping the community with small problems, things that most politicians ignore. If a street light is broken, Maze calls to get it fixed. If someone's rent is unfair, he tries to help. He's not perfect, but he cares. That's why people love him. One of the first big scenes shows how selfless he is. A run-down old apartment building catches fire. Smoke fills the sky, people scream for help, and firefighters struggle to save everyone. While most stand back, Maze rushes in. He climbs the stairs, coughing through the smoke, and rescues a woman trapped inside, along with her little dog. He carries them out, barely making it to safety. The crowd cheers. For the people in his neighborhood, Maze isn't just their alderman anymore. He's a real hero. But while this happens, something shocking is unfolding in American politics. The President of the United States and the Vice President are killed together in a sudden plane crash. The entire country is shaken, and within hours both political parties are scrambling. The Republican Party already has its candidate, Brian Lewis, a polished, confident man who speaks like a typical career politician. On the other side, the Democratic Party is in panic. They need a candidate quickly. Inside a private meeting room, the Democratic leaders talk strategy. They know they don't stand a chance this election year. Their approval ratings are low, the economy is shaky, and the Republicans are favored. So they come up with a plan. Instead of fighting hard to win, they'll run someone who will definitely lose. That way, they can regroup, plan ahead, and bring in a strong candidate for the next election in 2008. The question is, who can they choose that is guaranteed to lose? After reviewing several names, they land on someone completely unexpected, Maze Gilliam. To them, he's perfect. He's inexperienced, not known nationwide, and comes from a poor neighborhood. In their minds, he has zero chance of winning. And that's exactly what they want. Maze is shocked when they approach him. He can't believe it. Him. Running for president. At first, it sounds insane. But the party leaders convince him. They give him promises of fame, recognition, and the chance to represent his people. And deep down, Maze sees it as a once-in-a-lifetime chance to make a difference. So he agrees. Soon, the campaign begins. The Democratic Party gives Maze everything: speechwriters, advisors, a tour bus, and a carefully scripted plan. They tell him what to say, what not to say, and even how to smile. Maze, being new to all this, tries to follow along. He reads their speeches word for word. But there's a problem: when Maze delivers those speeches, the crowd doesn't connect. The words sound empty. They're the same promises people have heard from politicians for decades. Jobs, healthcare, housing, yet nothing ever changes. The people can see that Maze isn't speaking from his heart. His campaign starts weak, and even he begins to doubt himself. But Maze is not like other politicians. One day, frustrated, he throws away the script. Instead of reading what's written, he speaks directly to the crowd. He talks about real problems: how hard it is to find a job, how families can't afford healthcare, how neighborhoods like his are ignored. He cracks jokes, makes fun of fake politicians, and speaks in plain, everyday language. And the crowd goes wild. For the first time, people feel like a politician is actually telling the truth. From that moment, Maze changes his entire campaign. No more fake speeches. No more political language. He decides to run his way. And suddenly, his rallies start getting bigger. People from all over the country show up to hear him. The media, which once dismissed him as a joke, now covers him seriously. At this point, another major character joins the story: Mace's older brother, Mitch Gilliam, played by Bernie Mac. Mitch is tough, loud, and brutally honest. He doesn't play games and doesn't sugarcoat anything. When he joins the campaign, he brings fire and energy. While Maze wins people with humor and sincerity, Mitch wins them with boldness and raw truth. Together, the Gilliam brothers become a team unlike anything politics has seen before. But challenges keep coming. Republican candidate Brian Lewis constantly attacks Maze, calling him inexperienced and unqualified. The debates between the two candidates are some of the funniest and sharpest moments in the film. While Brian sticks to polished, professional answers, Maze talks like a regular guy. He cracks jokes, mocks the system, and says what everyone at home is thinking. At first, the media thinks it's unprofessional. But the people love it. The Democratic leaders, on the other hand, start to panic. Their plan was for Mays to lose. But now, polls are showing him gaining real support. Crowds chant his name, newspapers run his quotes, and TV hosts talk about his growing popularity. The leaders try to control him, begging him to go back to the script. But Mays refuses. He's done being fake. Meanwhile, Mays also finds support in his personal life. He meets Lisa Clark, a woman who becomes his love interest. Lisa believes in him and reminds him why he started this journey. Their relationship gives Mays the strength to keep going even when the pressure is overwhelming. As the campaign intensifies, Mays travels across the country. We see him in big cities, small towns, college campuses, and community centers. Everywhere he goes, he speaks honestly, makes people laugh, and connects with their struggles. His message is clear: America needs change, and that change begins with honesty. The final stretch of the campaign is tense. Brian Lewis throws everything he can at Mays. Attack ads flood TV screens, political commentators laugh at the idea of an alderman becoming president, and even some Democrats secretly hope he fails. But Mays doesn't back down. In the last big rally, he delivers a powerful speech, telling Americans that he may not be a career politician, but he knows what it means to struggle, and he knows what people need. The crowd erupts in applause. Finally, election day arrives. Across the nation, people line up to vote. News channels track every state, announcing results late into the night. At first, Brian Lewis takes the lead, and it looks like the usual system will win again. But then, the numbers shift. State by state, Mays-Gilliam pulls ahead. The unthinkable happens: he actually wins. The final scenes are triumphant. Against all odds, Mays-Gilliam, a regular guy from Washington, D.C., becomes the first African-American president of the United States. Standing by his side is his brother Mitch, who is now the vice president. The two walk into the White House, not as career politicians, but as two men who stayed true to themselves. The movie ends with laughter, hope, and inspiration. While it's a comedy filled with jokes, it's also a sharp satire of American politics. It shows how parties manipulate the system, how politicians lie, and how voters are often tricked. But it also delivers a powerful message: honesty and truth can win. Sometimes, the people don't want polished speeches, they want someone real. Head of State reminds us that change doesn't always come from the powerful. Sometimes, it comes from the most unexpected place: a regular man who refuses to play the game, and instead, decides to tell the truth.